everybody, and welcome back to the 2018 Granny Square Crochet Along. This is Jeanette, and today we will be making square number 179, the flower within. It looks a lot more complicated than it is, so let's go ahead and get our hooks and yarn and get started making this beautiful square. Okay, so we start with a magic circle and we chain 4, and that counts as our first double crochet, chain 1, and then we are going to double crochet, chain 1 into the circle 7 more times for a total of 8 double crochets and 8 chain 1 spaces. Right. I forgot my chain 1. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You pull on your tail to tighten to close, and we join with a slip stitch in the 3rd chain. Oh, wait, first I got chain 1. There we go. Okay, and that's what you should have at the end of round 1. Okay, so now for round 2, we are going to slip stitch into the next chain space, chain 2, and then put 2 more double crochets, well, 2 double crochet cluster. So you do 2 double crochets halfway. When you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all the loops, and that is your first, that is the beginning cluster because there's a chain 2. So we chain 3, and now we're going to do 7 3 double crochet clusters in the remaining 7 chain 1 spaces. So we do our first double crochet halfway, our second double crochet halfway, our third double crochet halfway, yarn over, pull through all your loops, and don't drop your stitch. All right, pull through all your loops. That is a 3 double crochet cluster. After that, you're going to chain 3, and we're going to repeat that in every chain 1 stitch around. 3 double crochet cluster, chain 3, and I'll see you back at the end of this round. Okay, I am at the last 3 double crochet cluster, so go ahead and finish this one up. There's the 3 double crochets done halfway, yarn over, pull through all the loops, chain 3, and then we join with a slip stitch into the top of the cluster. And now for chain 3, round 3, we're going to chain 1 and do a single crochet in the same stitch. Then we chain 1, and in the next cluster, in the top of the cluster, we're going to put 6 double crochet, chain 1. So that's the second one with the chain 1, the third double crochet with the chain 1, the fourth chain 1, the fifth chain 1, and number 6 chain 1. So that is the first corner made. Then we chain, actually no, we did the chain 1, so in the next cluster we do a single crochet and a chain 1, and then we repeat this corner again. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, that's the 4th, that's the 5th, and that's the 6th. Single crochet into the next cluster, chain 1. We're going to do our next corner, double crochet, chain 1. This is a here we go. This is the 3rd. This is the 4th. This is the 5th and the 6th. Just make sure that you have the right number. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and single crochet into the next cluster, chain 1, and we're going to do the last corner into the top of the next cluster, double crochet, chain 1, that's the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. And we're back to our beginning single crochet, and we slip stitch into the single crochet, and that is what you should have at the end of round 3. So for round 4, we need to slip stitch into the next chain 1 space. I like to go into the chain. You can go into the space if you like, and slip stitch into the next chain 1 space. And then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to put a cluster in each of these chain 1 spaces. So we start with the beginning cluster, so it's a chain 2 and then 2 double crochets down halfway, and yarn over and through all the loops. We are going to chain 2, and now we're going to do a 3 double crochet cluster, just 3 double crochets done halfway, and yarn over and through all the loops, chain 2, and we're going to do this in every space. Okay, and this is the last one. Okay, so that's how that should look. So you should have a total of 5 clusters in the one corner. So once we are done with the 5th one, we are going to chain 3 and slip stitch into the single crochet. Chain 3 again, and we are going to repeat the 5 clusters in each of the 5 chain 1 spaces, chain 3, slip stitch into the single crochet, chain 3, 5 clusters, chain 3, slip stitch into the single crochet, chain 3, all the way around till we get back to the beginning of the round, and in between each cluster is a chain 2. So I'll meet you back once that's done. Okay, so I am at the last corner. I chained 3 and I'm going to make my clusters in my chain 1 spaces. And if you notice your corners are curling up a little bit, that's fine. The next few rows should straighten that right out, so don't worry too much about it. Especially since these aren't truly square, they're rounded, they're gonna pull in a little bit, so it's okay. Okay, and this is the last cluster. Chain 3, join with a slip stitch in the single crochet, chain 3, and join with a slip stitch in the top of the first cluster. And that is what you should have at the end of the 4th round. Okay, so this is what we have at the end of round 4, and if you want to continue in the same color you can, but this would be where we change colors so that we can frame out this centerpiece so it looks more like a flower. So I'm cutting my blue and joining my white. You can use whatever colors you like. In the same stitch that we ended in, where we slip stitched at the end of round 4, is where we are going to join our new color. So right in the top of that same cluster, and I'm going to go over my ends for a little bit. So slip stitch, chain 1, and single crochet in that same stitch. And what we are going to do here is form our corners. So we're working in 4 groups of 5 clusters. This is the first cluster. We are going to chain 2, single crochet into the second cluster, chain 2, and in the top of every 3rd cluster we are going to make our corner. So we double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet, and that forms our corner right there. Chain 2, single crochet into the 4th, chain 2, single crochet into the 5th, and that's that petal done, that corner done. We chain 3 in between the petals, single crochet into the first cluster, chain 2, single crochet into the second cluster, chain 2, then double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the third, chain 2, single crochet into the fourth, chain 2, single crochet into the fifth, and we chain 3 to join to the next. So go ahead and repeat that on the remaining 2 corners, petals, and I'll meet you back when we're ready to join. Okay, I've done the last single crochet in round 5, so now we chain 3 and we join with the slip stitch into our beginning single crochet, and that is the end of round 5. And round 6 is very simple. We chain 1 and double crochet in every stitch all around till we get to the corner. So single crochet in the single crochet, 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space, single crochet in the next single crochet, 2 in the next chain 2 space, single crochet in the double crochet, two single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets in the corner, chain 3 space. So we're just going to repeat this all the way around. So we single crochet in each stitch, so 1 in the double, 2 in the chain 2, each chain counts as a space, 1 in the single, 2 in the chain 2, 1 in the single, 3 in the chain 3, 1 in the single, 2 in the chain 2, 1 in the single, 2 in the chain 2, 1 in the double, and then every corner is the same, 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets in the chain 3 space. So just go ahead and repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, we are here at the end of round 6. I'm at the last chain 3 space, so I'm going to put 3 single crochets, and we are back at our beginning single crochet, so we slip stitch into that, and that's what we have at the end of round 6. Round 7 is the same idea, very similar. We chain 3, that's our first double crochet, and then it's 1 double crochet into each single crochet, and when you get to your chain 2 spaces, it's 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the chain 2 space, and we just repeat this all the way around for our final row. And I'm going to let you all repeat that, and I'll meet you back when we are ready to join with our slip stitch. Just get you through the first corner, that's 1 double crochet in each stitch, and I'm at my chain 2 space, so I'm putting a double crochet, a chain 2, and a double crochet into the chain 2 space to form a corner. So we are just going to repeat this all the way around on each side, making sure in each chain 2 space In each corner we put a double crochet, a chain 2, and a double crochet. So I'm going to let you go ahead and continue with this, and I'll meet you back when we're ready to join. Alright, so here we are at the end of round 7, and I just have a few more double crochets to complete. This is the last one, and we join with a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3, and this is the end of number 179, the flower within. I hope you enjoyed making this one. Don't forget to like and to subscribe, and we'll see you all again next time. Bye.